Sup YouTube, how's it hanging? Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about something that is really niche. I mean really niche, namely stylus pen nibs that go with e-ink devices, in particular the Supernote A5X, which, as everyone knows, I enjoy a lot. But I ordered this with the Heart of Metal ceramic nib, great combo with the A5X. They kindly sent me the hard nibs that go with the Lamy pen, wherever my Lamy pen has gone to. And I wanted to talk today about my impressions simply of the hard nib in the Lamy pen, the pros and the cons, what it feels like, and then you can make up your mind which would be best. Because if I share screen now, let's choose the right screen. Here we are. Right, when you're ordering the A5X or the A6X, A5, I mean, I guess all of them, you can choose either the Heart of Metal pen here, or you can go with the Lamy, AL-star EMR Lamy, or you go with their bog standard silver grey. Now, I haven't used that one, and I went for the Heart of Metal because of CPO's excellent video going through all three. But I did want to compare it today with the Lamy and see what you think. So the first thing I was going to say, something that surprised me, is when I took out from my Lamy the vacuum felt nib, I was shocked to see that in 3 weeks of use, I guess, I had worn down about half of the vacuum felt nib head. And that really, that means then that if you have a ceramic nib, the everlasting nib, you are saving yourself some money. And that also means it's going to be more consistent as well when it's used. So the hard nib in the Lamy and the hard ceramic nib in the Heart of Metal, these are significant benefits. Okay, to get straight to the point, how did I find the Lamy with the hard nib compared with the Heart of Metal ceramic nib? The first thing I'm going to say is that it is way slipperier on the A5X screen. In fact, it was so slippery, so different, I immediately had to compare it with my iPad, with the iPad pen, which, as anyone who's written on the iPad knows, is very slippery. You've got hard plastic on glass, and that's how it feels. Now, I did them one pen in each hand. I did a direct comparison, and turns out actually the Lamy with the hard nib is totally different from the iPad on a glass screen. It's not that slippery. So how slippery is it? This is a guide. So some pretty high-tech shit today. It should be self-explanatory, right? Over on my right-hand side, you've got scratchy, grippy pens. Over on this side, you've got slippery, glassy. So there you have the iPad pen with a glass screen, really slippery. Right over on the other side, you've got the Lamy there with the vacuum felt nib on the EMR screen protector, forget. But near to that, in terms of grippiness, if not scratchiness, is a Heart of Metal ceramic nib on the A5X. But then considerably closer to the iPad feel is the Lamy pen with the hard nib that Supernote provide. Yeah, for those who are observant, that is the bog standard Max Lumi pen, which is a good pen, by the way. I don't have two Lamy pens, and I ran out of props for this high-tech demonstration, but presumably you get the idea. So how do these pen nibs feel? If in a previous video I suggested that the Heart of Metal ceramic nib with the A5X feels a little bit like a sort of normal paperback notepad with a soft lead pencil, and the sort of sponginess of the paper together with the softness of the lead. That's kind of like the ceramic nib with harder metal pen. How does it feel with the Lamy and the hard nib? And I've been really struggling to come up with a comparison. And the closest I've come to, and I try them sort of right next to each other, is a hardback book. So this is a fairly glossy screen. Can you see the light reflecting off of that? And then I got a normal biro pen, you know, one of these clicky ones. But instead of using the pen, I don't want to deface my book for a YouTube video. I just use this end. I'm using the clicky end, and I put that. That feels like the Lamy pen with the hard nib on the A5X. I don't know if this is helpful, but it might give you some idea what to expect. So in conclusion, which do I prefer? Do I prefer the Lamy pen or the harder metal pen? It is all about personal preference. I prefer the hard metal pen much more over the Lamy with the Supernote nib. I prefer the grippiness over the slipperiness of the adjusted Lamy pen. I mean, this is why I like also using the Vacuum felt nib with Max Lamy, because it gives a real scratchiness. And I sometimes don't want that level of scratchiness, and so the hard metal sort of hits the spot. This doesn't quite. They're my thoughts for what it's worth. Of course, the Lamy pen has one big advantage, namely the eraser button. So you don't need to select from the menu in order to rub something out. You just simply click a button, and that is useful. It is handy. There's no two ways about it. But anyway, that brings me to the end of this video. Hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions, then don't hesitate to ask in the comments, and I look forward to chatting with you there. Until next time.